Hello, hello, hello. My name is NicholassRivas. I talk about politics and stuff, and today we're going to be talking about the embarrassment that is Kanye West running out off on Tim Pool after just being pressed on for one question. Maybe it was like a split second. Tim Pool just said, I don't know if I agree with you. And then he got up and left. Because Kanye is a fucking man baby. And you, for one, don't expect this guy to run into politics because he's going to just cry at the first question. But he was on Tim Pool. Tim Pool is he considers himself like center left, and I would give him that he's center. I have a lot of disagreements with him, but politically I respect some of the people that he, interviews and he gets on, and he handled himself very much well, and he's a great moderator. Um, but he had Kanye on, and I just made a video about Kanye and Ben Shabibo, but of course this happened while I was recording, so I want to talk about this and to see more if anything came out, but it doesn't seem like it. So basically, Tim Pool just asked him, like, hey, he even asked him, he was kissing his ass. He said, they're treating you wrong. And Kanye goes, well, who's they? And he goes, well, it depends what you like. What do you think they is? Like, I'm not going to define it as like you define it. And then Kanye said, "Well, I can't say it who it is," and that's when Tim Pool comes back with, "Well, I don't agree with how you're framing it," and I think Tim Pool was going to elaborate and say, "I don't believe it's the Jews," and then Kanye, before Tim Pool can even finish getting sucked off, because Tim was saying, "Yeah, you're being unfairly treated," but before he can finish what the but was going to be about, Kanye gets up and walks off like a little bitch baby. And so, the guy can't debate. And to be fair, he's not in the political sphere and is a debate bro of sorts. He's a celebrity who is very talented and very, very smart, but does not understand how to respond. I mean, you don't want to be emotional. You don't want to spit your facts, and that's okay if you can't. And it's okay if you're more of a person to elaborate maybe through a little bit of a more thought process, maybe more of a long video essay, or maybe one of your albums. Like in Kanye's discography, he said more about politics and vanity and wealth and the treating of black people in his music, whereas his message currently through his speeches and all that don't really seem to align. So maybe this is all who he is, but he's definitely not the place where you want to be. If you're going to be a politician, you should be able to stand your ground. um yeah, Tim Pool didn't even push him that hard. It's pathetic to see this man is sick and people are just saying, yes sir, yes sir. Give the guy some sort of pushback and he cries and he just leaves. And it's this right wing bubble of people who are killing me, like the Milo Yiannopoulos, who are just sucking this guy off and like kissing his ass. Like you truly are letting this man ruining his own life just because he's having a mental breakdown, and it barely aligns with what you're saying. The Milos of the world are leeches, and he's parading this guy or whatever it's called, to his own, just to keep him afloat, to keep his name in the zeitgeist. But people like Milo don't care about him. People like Trump, he had dinner with Trump, and Trump yelled at him. And I respect that they're having a conversation. I'm respecting that Kanye is actually trying to be, somewhat of a political figure, because that's not easy. But to hear that these people like Trump the first thing they see with this guy is very vulture like. They see a celebrity who has some name value and is very talented, and they're going to jump on him and use him for their political stuff, which isn't to be surprising. They're all politicians at heart. But it's just pathetic. It's pathetic to see. And I really respected how Tim Pool handled it, where he continued and said, I'm going to continue my show. I'm going to continue to not be anti Semitic. And I'm going to be blunt and say that I definitely agree that they're treating him unfairly. But it's not the Jews. It's not this cabal. It's not the Roethlisbergers. There's this deep rooted anti Semitism, and there's definitely arguments to be made that there's this wealthy group and that they're controlling things. But is it to the extent of what he believes? No. Is it the Jewish people? No. Is it a capitalistic issue? Yes. And anytime these people try to talk shit about the media conglomerates of the Jewish people, you try to present them with some sort of legislation or some like action that needs to be taken other than genocide, and they kind of go like they don't know what the hell to do. When I hear people talking about like, oh my gosh, the Jews own all this stuff and all this capital, I go, oh yeah, well, it's probably more of a symptom of capitalism than just a group of people. Maybe we should do this that. And they go, maybe we should have a top marginal tax rate increase. Oh no, that's my money. So that's these people. It's just it's the same old playbook that the racists always use. They pick a group, and instead of addressing the issues, because the capitalist or the higher ups in the world, who do exist, I don't think it's this cabal, they are pushing and saying, yeah, it's the Mexicans, it's the Jews, and most middle American people just go, yeah, it's true. That's why my paycheck is low. That's why medicine costs are so high. That's why gas is so high. The idea that it's so much easier just to blame another group, it's just been a playbook, easy done since the beginning of time. But it's just now with people like the Jewish media or the Jewish yeah, lawyers, they're seen with higher power and status. So it's very easy to anecdotally pull around your surroundings and say, hey, I do know a lot of Jewish lawyers. I do know a lot of Jewish producers. I mean, he's been in a realm of Hollywood and music media and all that, where he's probably been surrounded by a lot of Jewish people who do, quote unquote, from what he says, dominate his life. And I'm sure that they make up a higher portion than, foreseen. Just like there's like this odd number of Nigerian doctors, which is a real statistical fact. Many Americans were trying to push past the Nigerian, I believe, I don't know if it's bigotry or they were just pushing more Nigerians. There's a whole story about it. Statistically speaking, though, they're per capita, of course, because obviously the Caucasian, demographic fills up every field from doctor to lawyer. It's usually Caucasian, but in some cases per capita, looking at the Asians or Jewish people, there's always like some sort of higher percentage than typically. It's kind of this like, there's always a reason for it, but it's never like this media conglomerate cabal that he tries to paint that everyone's after him. It's typically because some sort of unfortunate racist, maybe some affirmative action took place prior. It's hard to say, but I definitely think that Kanye is now this sort of crazy manic man that they're just going to keep using to this parade of sorts of trying to push in their anti-Semitism, and it's going to be perfect for them because I'm already seeing it. When I saw people defending him, it was, well, he's black. You're going to call a black man a white supremacist? Yeah, that's. There were white KKK people. There were black KKK people as well. So I don't know how else to put it. That it can be possible, right? You could be I can be a brown Latino against Latinos. Like that's just, yeah, duh. I contain it more as a classist issue, given that his issues have to be with the cabal, but he's never going to see it that. He's going to see it as a race thing. So I'll just leave it here. Thank you all so much. Y'all have a good one, and yabba dabba doo. Gabagoo.
The glory is yours, Ghosty.